This is the Traders Exclusive Live Trader Showcase. I'm Sherry. This is the quarterly event where we feature expert traders and bring you training and insights from 20 expert traders. We have prize giveaways for everyone in attendance. We're going to do some drawings. We have some surprise interviews. Please check out tradersexclusive.com, where we regularly post articles and video clips with valuable trading tips and techniques. This is also where you're going to find the recordings for this event. And before we get started, we have to share a quick disclaimer. You know it. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This is training. You have to do your own research, and you should always verify and research.
Hi, I'm Norman Hallett, and I'm known as the Disciplined Trader. And I wasn't always a trader, although I have been for the last several decades. But I actually started out, had a math degree, so I was kind of always interested in the numbers and did some investing myself, but never in a serious way. I was in the nightclub business before I was in this business, and I was running one of the highest end nightclubs in the country called Park Avenue. We were actually a competitor for Studio 54. That was fun, to say the least, but I will say that it was stressful and a lot of late nights. Got tired of it after opening a club on 500 Water Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It snowed and I got tired of digging out my car. I jumped in my car and I headed west to San Francisco, of which I looked in the newspaper and I saw something about gold options being sold over the phone. So I said, you know, I can sell. I think I can do that. And I understand investing, so maybe I'll do it. Well, worked there a week and I made a couple of sales. I thought this was pretty easy. Next morning in the second week, I got there and the whole place was empty. There wasn't no desks, no nothing, and no paycheck for me. I said, oh my God, I was working for a scam outfit. Said, I'm going to do it right this time. So I looked up the biggest and best option firm in the country, and I wound up after 18 months running the home office of that company. In any event, that's how I got started in the trading world. And after training a lot of traders and brokers to do their job and do the best they can for their clients, I said, hey, I'm going to do this myself. I wound up writing several books on trading plans, and now my passion is to help traders pass the prop trading, where you can trade somebody else's money and get 90% of the profit. Unbelievable. So that's my passion now. This is how I came to where I am, and I'm really excited to give you a little bit about my background. Anyway, great talking to you.
Well, we jumped right over you there for a second. Simon Klein of TradeSmart is with us, mastering market tops and bottoms. And let me just pull up my handy dandy little sheet. I wanted to just I know he'll tell you a little bit more about himself, but Simon's the CEO and founder of TradeSmart. That's tradesmartforex.com. And it has quickly established itself as a leader in trading education, training, and coaching services. TradeSmart is also a provider of market analysis services to professional traders and brokers. Simon's a professional trader and trading coach with over 15 years of experience. He has a passion for trading and loves to train and coach others, whether a complete beginner or an experienced trader. Simon has taught and coached traders who work at the top Wall Street firms and other professionals from all over the world, including doctors, accountants, judges, lawyers, pilots, managers, and business owners. And he graduated from University College London in '96 with a first class bachelor's in science and in computer science, and began to work as an analyst and programmer for Credit Suisse in both London and New York. and 2005, Simon began his professional trading career as an equity trader for Generic Trading of Philadelphia after passing the Series 7 exam of the financial industry regulatory authority. Now, let me just get you unmuted. Now, I'm going to
Okay,
make
you can hear me, Sherry?
the presenter. I have a question for you though, Simon. And I'm going to, I hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Now I can't hear you anymore. Where are you?
Can you hear me?
Okay, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
waiting
let's
on
see
your
if we can get
screen.
there. Let's see. Okay, can you see the screen? See my screen?
Yes, mastering market tops and bottoms. So I have a question for you. How did you
Sure.
get your start in trading? Like what made you decide to get into trading?
Well, when I was working at Credit Suisse, which was my first job out of university, I was working in middle office I was working in product control, and the action was happening in the trading floor. So I used to walk past the trading floor. I was always intrigued by all the screens and everything flashing and all the kind of things going on there. And that's where the money was made primarily, but it wouldn't be possible without having the support of everyone else. So there was a point in my time at Credit Suisse where I actually got offered a job on the trading floor, and I moved to the trading floor into emerging markets. And yeah, so, but not as a trader. I was more kind of working on portfolio and risk analysis for emerging markets. And yeah, so that's kind of what got me interested in it. And then when I left Credit Suisse and I did a couple of other life goals for a number of years, I left the working world. And when I came back, I decided to start trading. So that's when I started at learning how to trade, basically. And I was taught by some professional traders. I worked on the trading floor of Generic Trading Philadelphia. And then I moved to other various funds and hedge funds. And yeah, and then I finally went by myself.
That's
So
nice.
that's basically what got me into it.
And then I follow that up with if you hadn't become a trader, what would you be?
Probably a doctor.
A doctor. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Much more
actually
satisfying, I think.
I'm actually just qualified I'm very interested in food as medicine. So I just qualified like a couple of months ago as a certified nutrition coach, and I'm actually waiting to hear back from Harvard Medical School because I just applied to their online program. So online program part of. So I want to learn some of the basics. I applied to do some courses in biochemistry and physiology, just out of interest. Yeah, it's one of my passions. Besides trading, my other passion is health and wellness.
I think we're going to see more food as medicine coming out and about, especially when we are faced with the idea that antibiotics are going to be restricted and maybe being overused anyway, right? But food as medicine is definitely a great field to look at for sure. Well, I appreciate you being with us here today, and I will mute my mic and let you take it away.
Okay, thanks, Sherry. Welcome everybody to Mastering Market Tops and Bottoms, probably one of the most important topics you can learn about, because if you don't know how to spot tops and bottoms in the market, you're going to be on the wrong side of the market, and you want to be on the right side of the market and recognize when the market's making a top or bottom. And we're going to look at major tops and bottoms in the markets as they are happening, so you can learn to recognize the tops and bottoms of major moves as well. So Sherry gave me a beautiful introduction, but here's a picture of me speaking at the Traders Expo in New York not so long ago, and then I was invited to speak in China as well, and I was recently asked to train 1,000 VIP traders in China. So they liked what I was doing, and they asked me to come back and to train some traders. You can see in the lineup, I got invited to speak, and you can see with some finance ministers, and you can maybe see Jack Schwager, who's the author of the Market Wizard series of books, which most people have probably read. I'm over here, and that was a lineup. Quick disclaimer before we begin: everything we mention in this presentation is for educational purposes only, and you're responsible for your trading results. Here's a little bit about me. As you can see, again, I started my life, well, I started my professional life at Credit Suisse, and then as you can see, that I started trading at Generic Trading in Philadelphia in 2005, and I started educating traders because people came to me and asked me to train them, and that kind of one thing led to another, and I saw I was pretty good at it and getting results, and ultimately that ended up me starting a trading service to help others. So to let you know also about TradeSmart, we're a trading education business, and we focus primarily on teaching you how to read the market professionally and how to run a successful trading business, including how to develop your own trading plan and strategies which fit your personality and lifestyle. So what you should do now is focus, turn off all your distractions, and to get the most out of this session, just focus on what we're going to go over. Take some notes as well, and maybe you'll watch the replay as well, or if you're watching the replay, you may want to stop, write some notes, and then maybe rewatch it, and go and analyze the charts after I show you the patterns, and see if you can spot these patterns happening, and then see what happens next. Remember, you need to spot the tops and bottoms as they're forming. To look at a chart afterwards and say, oh, that was the top and it went all the way down, or that was the bottom and look, it went all the way up from here. That's not going to help you because it's already happened. You need to spot it as it's happening. Okay, that's the key. So you're in the right place. If you want to learn how to spot major market turning points, you want to get your questions answered today, and we'll take questions and answers at the end. So here's the main thing. And this is what Tony Robbins says. So basically keep it simple, because complexity is the enemy of execution. As a trader, you may have too many things you're looking at. And I was one of those traders at one point, trying almost every indicator under the sun, and there are loads of them on my chart until I couldn't actually see the price action. But complexity is the enemy of execution. That's what Tony Robbins says. So what I've done over the years is what I call masterful simplicity. And why is this so important? So how did I learn this? So basically, I was learning to trade when I was working at Generic Trading in Philadelphia, and I was trained by two traders who were the best traders on the floor. And there was a group of us, and we had to pass the Series 7 exam because we were trading company funds, like public funds. So you needed a license for that. And my first trading account I ever traded was $500,000. That's what was my buying power, trading US equities, primarily New York Stock Exchange. That was it. So we were taught to trade the New York Stock Exchange specialist system. There was a way, there was an edge that we had, was that we were taught to spot what the specialist was doing on the New York Stock Exchange, and then we would do what they were doing. So if we could spot that they were on the buy side, then we would be buying, and when they were switching to the sell side, we would be selling. Now, there's a problem with that way of trading, because what happened was technology caught up, and the New York Stock Exchange went part computer and part human. And the way that we were taught to trade no longer worked. We call that nowadays disruption. And ultimately, the trading floor closed down. We were no longer profitable, and we had to close down because the way that we were taught to trade no longer worked. So what I've done over the years, and again, it was quite a long journey at the beginning, it took me about 5 years to really master this, was to what I call, again, masterful simplicity. It's simple based on a deep understanding rather than a lack of understanding. And I came across this quote actually recently, and from Albert Einstein. And he said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So basically, I've experienced many things in the market to come to this conclusion, or this simple way of looking at the market, which, as we said before, will never be disrupted because it's the way price works, the way price moves. It will never be changed by algorithms. And again, I'm coming from an artificial intelligence background, and that was pre-2000, okay? Before, nowadays it's become more mainstream now, recently with ChatGPT and other programs in the public domain. But I was programming neural networks in the late 1990s, before 2000. So basically, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And you don't want to learn a way of trading that's going to be disrupted by technology, because you'll be having to learn new things and change the way you trade all the time. Wouldn't it be a good idea to base your understanding of the market on something that's timeless? So that's what this is. So I'm going to share with you what professional chart reading looks like, and give you a framework, at least part of the framework, so you can start understanding how to look at a market. So I believe, and these things are fundamental, and these are the framework and the foundations of reading any market, or reading market using price action. And if you come to the bottom of here, this is why it's so important. Because once you have this framework, the charts will teach you all you need to know once you have a framework for reading them. Yeah, you don't need to rely on anyone else anymore. Once you have learned that framework, you need to learn the framework and maybe, learn how to apply it. But once you've done that, then, you continue to learn yourself. For example, learning how to drive. You learn a framework for controlling the car, moving the car, and for understanding traffic conditions or road conditions, so how to drive in different conditions. That would be like reading the market, and controlling the car would be like your strategy, for example. And once you've got the basics, you continue to grow as a driver throughout your life, gaining more experience and understanding how to drive in different conditions. Experience gives you that. But you need a framework in which to grow. You don't need to keep going to driving school forever and learning this way of driving and that way of driving and another way of driving from all the gurus of driving, if you see what I mean. Once you've got that framework, you can pretty much develop yourself. So this is what you need. You need to understand pivot analysis, which is our view on reading the trend. Again, using candlesticks alone, no indicators needed at all, okay? No moving averages, nothing like that. We're looking at the candlesticks alone over here, and we can understand how to read the trend. I'm going to share with you towards the end of this presentation how you can learn how to do that yourself. Again, this is exactly the same training that I've been training traders for many years now, including institutional traders, but primarily retail traders. But there have been, over the years, institutional traders I've also trained. Then you need to understand supply and demand. And again, those are levels in the market where price moves from and to. And we'll look at the live market as we go on, and I'll show you how to spot those levels. At least we'll touch on it a little bit. And then you need to understand price direction. Which direction is price currently moving in? Is it moving up or down? Now, this analysis replaces everything you need to know about candlesticks with one simple way of looking at the chart. All you need to do is look at the chart and basically say, is price currently moving up or down? Simple as that. It's either up or down. It's binary. There's no in between. So if it's up, it stays up until it turns down. So that's very, very useful in order to spot turning points in the market. For example, the market can be in a demand area and direction changes from down to up. That probably means we're going higher. And if that's in the context of an uptrend from the pivot analysis, that will give you a great kind of odds on the trade. And then when you know the next level of supply to the upside, that would be where the market is going to, which would be your reward of the trade if it gets there. And then you'll need to know where to put your stop, which is your risk. Okay, and then to be able to do this on multiple time frames, which will give you a multi-dimensional view of the market. So if you're looking at one time frame, you have like a two-dimensional view of price and time. If you take it into higher time frames or lower time frames, you go up and down, then it will give you, if you go up the time frames, it will give you a more kind of bird's eye view. If you zoom in, it will give you a more fine view, yeah, a more magnified view. So this is what you need in order to read the market. You need to know what the trend is, where you are in terms of supply and demand and where those levels are, what direction you're going in, and to be able to look at that on multiple time frames. And why the multiple time frames is so important is because if you're in an uptrend on an hourly chart, for example, and there's a pullback that happens, the market moves down and you buy, but on the daily chart, you're up against a larger time frame supply area, a resistance area, then that may not be a good time to buy. And I'm going to show you examples of that. And this is how we use this analysis to actually see market tops and bottoms. So what do you need to know in order to understand whether a market is going to turn or not? Okay, it's like everything else in life. You need to be at the right location and have the right price structure happening, the right price action happening at that location. If you have the right price structure happening and it's happening in the middle of nowhere, it's not so meaningful. You need to have the right location, it has to be the right place, and have the right price structure to show you that that's a top or bottom. I'm going to share with you what that is. And the extra thing that you need to have is the right time. Okay, it has to be happening at the right time. So you need to ask yourself these questions. Where is price? When you're looking at a chart, you need to look at it and you need to say, ask yourself that question. Where is price? And what is price structure telling us? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is share with you the main three formations of how a market forms tops and bottoms. And I call them the first one is the most common formation. And again, here we're not going to be covering gaps. And the reason why this is important to understand is these formations is it keeps you on the right side of the market. So you're able to catch major turning points. And I'll show you how we caught the bottom of the E-minis during COVID-19, which was in March a couple of years ago. You need to be able to see this as it's happening, not after it's happened. So the most common formation is one formation. The other formation is the basing formation. And then we have a climactic formation. So let's go over what the common formation is. Okay, so everyone take notes, okay? Make the most out of this session, okay? And I appreciate each of you for being here. And I know this is a kind of a free session that we're doing, but it's not free because you're using your time to come here. So I don't take that lightly. And I hopefully will deliver value here that you'll be able to use immediately in your trading, even if you decide not to take the next step. So the first thing that you need to understand is location. So you need to ask yourself these questions. Is price, well, this is where price needs to be at a significant level of supply and demand. So this is why it's important for you to know where those levels are. Or a new high or low. So it could be at the market's making highs and it's never been that high before, like we had with the E-minis, for example. After COVID, the market went up to new highs that have never been seen before, the biggest rally in the history of the market. But what you need to see now is price structure. For example, what we're looking for is change of trend. So let me show you an example of this most common formation over here. So this is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin at the highs over here. Now, what we're looking for is a change of trend. This is what COT stands for, change of trend. Once Bitcoin went below this pivot over here, this is what I call a change of trend. And that was the top of the market. And you can see we had a big move down from this area around the 60,000, and it went all the way down to around here. And we know it went further afterwards. Okay, so this is one way of finding the top in the market. Let me show you another example of this common formation. This is on the dollar, and this is a bottom that I called when I spoke in China. Okay, now look what happens over here. We're coming into demand, the market moves up, down, and puts in a higher low over here. This is what I call, again, another way of changing trend. So the trend, this down move changed over here, and which kicked off a big move up on the dollar. And then we'll take a look at the market now, and I'll show you. Actually, let's do that now. Let's look at the dollar right now. This is a live market now, and you can see, show you very interestingly enough, this was the bottom of the market in 2021. Okay, it's went up here, confirmed here, and look at the big move we have. Now, let me show you the top of the market. Okay, this is happening. I mean, this just happened at the end of last year. How do you see the top of the market? How do you know that that's the top of the market? Well, let's do the same thing in reverse. Let's come on a weekly chart and notice the trend here. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low. That's the top of the market. This kicks off this move to the downside. You see that? This is the top of the market. And after this bar closed, look what happens. The market gives you an opportunity to get in at a good price. Right up here, it went straight up. You had 1 week to position yourself for a short, right at the highs if you could get in up here. And then look what happens. You get the biggest bar to the downside. We already know this is a market top. You're no longer buying over here. Once you see the market form a top, that's the end. Okay, and this works on all time frames. Okay, every time frame, and it works consistently. Okay, so let's get back to this. So you saw now this was the bottom of the dollar based on the monthly chart, and I just showed you what the top of the dollar looked like. And again, it's almost the same if it forms in this way every single time. So if you can recognize it, you can pick the tops and bottoms of markets. I've used it in the property market, not just in, you don't need to, it's not just in the financial markets, you can use it in property, you can use it in any market. If you can chart a market, you can use it to pick tops and bottoms. And it works not only in markets, you could see it if you track other things as well. You'll see trends and you'll see where the trend comes to an end. The next formation that you need to learn is the basing formation. So you need to understand, again, we need to ask the question, location. So where do you need to be? Price needs to be at a significant level of supply and demand. So you need to know what that looks like. Or at new highs or lows. And the price structure this time, it has to be basing at the highs and lows, followed by a bull or bear trap. This is what catches people on the wrong side of the market. So let me show you an example of the top of the E-minis. Okay, this was a top. We had a massive move up, and this is how the top formed. Market's basing over here, and the market pushes up, which is a bull trap, to new highs and immediately sells off. That's the top of the market. Once you see this, you want to be on the short side. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. And I'm going to show you the final one is the climactic formation. Okay, this is also one that you need to learn as well. So you need to learn, again, you need to ask the question, where am I location wise? So price needs to be at a significant level of supply or demand after a rapid move, an acceleration in price. That's what we call momentum. Momentum is speed. Acceleration is speed over time, yeah? You're increasing your speed over time, you're accelerating. So you'll notice the market suddenly shoot up or drop off a cliff. So price moving up or down after a rapid move, or price at new highs or lows after a rapid move. It could move into uncharted territory that's never been before on the upside, for example. And then what you need to see is guess what? Price structure, which is a change of trend. Notice how important it is to spot this change of trend. So here's an example where we saw the futures contract actually go into negative territory here. And this was pretty interesting. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I think it went to minus 30 something dollars or whatever on that futures contract. But we see oil here reaching a low on this chart, and then we put in a change of trend. And this is the bottom of the market confirmed. It's here, but this is definitely confirmed bottom of the market, okay, until it's taken out. So this is the low, and you know, the change of trend means we're starting to move up. Here you don't know, it could go up and then drop off again, but once it does this, it's confirmed. You could even get in down here if you want to try and catch bottoms, and you'd have to go down to a lower time frame. This is on the monthly chart. You'd have to go to a lower time frame and see this same sort of pattern happening down here, which you probably would see. So let's show you another example of the pound. So we also had this big sell-off here in the pound. The pound went down to here. And notice what happens here. This is a change of trend, a higher low in the market, and this kicked off the move to the upside. Okay, let me show you another example of the climactic formation. This was when the Aussie dollar came to a demand area below. Notice the acceleration down. Remember, this was completely red. Okay, we hit this level and bounced back. But watch what happens. This is on the monthly chart, but we're going to go down and use multiple time frames here. So we're going to go on to the daily chart here, and you can see what happens here. We're in a downtrend until we break above this pivot. You see that? Once we break above this line, this pivot high over here, that's the end of the down move. So moves down are now buyable, and you can see we had a dip down afterwards, which was buyable, but we had another one over here right into the level that we broke, and giving a beautiful run to the upside in the Australian dollar. You see this? Similar to this leg of the market. It's like almost a measured move. But that's what you need to recognize over here. Now, if you don't know, if you can't recognize this immediately, I'm going to share with you how you can do the training, and towards the end of this presentation, that you can take the next step and you could learn every single way of recognizing the end of a trend, the beginning of a trend, the end of a trend. So let me ask you a question now. What markets do you want to look at? We can go and look into the markets now, and we can start to delve in a little bit. We'll do this for maybe 10 minutes. Let me actually show you some of these markets as well. Maybe we'll do a few, and let me see if I can see the chat. Pull this out. So the chat or questions that I need to look at, questions as well. Okay, got this open. Let's see. Okay, guys, you can put into the chat area, I think, or the questions area, any markets you want me to look at. ES. Okay, let's look at the ES. E-minis. We also have, interesting, I think we've got FOMC that's happening right now, so we may see some volatility now. So we already pointed out the top over here, and we could do this on every time frame. The market's going up. So I'll actually show you where we're going to on, actually we'll go, yeah. This market, by the way, is not in a downtrend anymore. We broke the downtrend on the monthly chart in the same way, so we're in bullish mode now. It's not as simple as that, but you'll see when the market came down here, the trend changed. The same thing that we were saying before, if you look carefully here. Here's your higher low. That's the end of the move down happening in demand levels. And you can see when we hit supply, we dropped down to demand, came up. So we've got a higher low, higher high, hit this level. We pulled back today here to this level and moved up to this level. And this is exactly what the market should do most of the time. So this move down is buyable. So if you buy intraday and then you want to be taking something up into this area, you're hitting supply now. Okay, which is why we're retracting. The market pushed up into this area and came back. And we also have direction up on this time frame and this time frame. And the other one that's very interesting, if we look at the euro, well, we know where we're going next. We're going up here. Okay, that's what the odds are. Here we're basing in supply, bullish, and we're moving up. So how did you, I mean, again, how do we know that this is potentially the bottom of the market, or we're going to start moving up? Well, we had the top of the euro over here. I'll show you the same thing on the monthly chart. How do we know we're going down? Because we put in a lower high here and that kicked off this move. Okay. Now we haven't changed trends yet, but we have on the dollar, which is why this is more likely going up now, or why we have been going up from here. And if we look at the dollar, I'll show you quickly. Okay, let's do the same thing again. Okay, let's, as we did before, the bottom here, the top on the lower high here on the weekly chart, giving a move to the downside. Okay, and we've been bearish bias on the dollar. Why? Because we're not in an upward moving market. Because if you look carefully on the monthly chart, we moved down and we went below. There's a pivot here. So this move up is sellable. So we had this drawn on, and this is our sell zone on the move up. So putting it all together, the trend, even though we've got price direction currently up, notice how we're moving down. And there's no demand here. And we just pushed up for a different reason. And if we come below here, you can see where we're likely going, down. Yeah, we're not in an upward moving market. We broke the uptrend by going below here. So that's why we're having this movement that's why we're having this movement from up here back down, which is what's happening here. You can see, if you look carefully, we have this move up and then we put in lower low, lower high, and we're going down. We're just dealing with the demand level here, which we break this down to this level and then bounce and then probably lower. Okay, you see how we're bouncing and going lower. These are bounces that are taking us nowhere. They're just positioning the sell side to take it lower. And this is that bull trap scenario. See, we're basing here and we break out above and come back in, and that kicks off the move to the downside. Okay, so we're waiting for this, and then we're shorting once we see this on this day. And then we're aware of these levels of demand, so we may run up. And then we're getting in again and taking the next leg down. And then if we break this level, we know where we're going, and this may happen right now, which means the dollar, the euro is likely moving up to the next level. As we said, if you look carefully now, where's our next level? We've got one here on the hourly chart, that's where we're going. And up here, 1.09 is likely where we're going. Okay, so that's how you put it all together. Now, why? Because the dollar's not moving in an uptrend anymore. So the odds of the market is this moving down. Now let's have a look at, let me show you the yen futures, and we'll do the same thing here. Why is the yen moving up now? And why do you want to be more on the buy side? So we go from the bigger time frame. Notice this move up. Here we're in a downward moving market, it's a downtrend, correct? This move up took out a pivot here. So we just broke the downtrend. So this move down is buyable. Notice where we're coming from, and they're going back up again. Now we've got one thing on the downside here is we've got direction down, but the odds are we broke the downtrend on this move up. So this move down is buyable, and likely if we break here, it may take a couple of months or so, then we're going to move up. We've got a nice tradable void to the next level. So it's understanding how to do this in the market when the market's topped and bottomed. So you can actually be on the right side of the market most of the time. So the odds here are to be more on the buy side, but you have to know when to get in and when to get out. And again, you can see this on the daily chart. How do we know we're going to the upside? So here we see we're moving down. Once we take out this level here, now we're in upward moving market, and pullbacks are buyable. Okay, where's that happening? That's happening in demand here on the weekly chart. See that? That's where this happened. The trend changed and we moved to the upside. Okay, happened from down here, over here. Okay, so once you know that, and I'll show you another one on the Australian dollar. Let's move back. And again, this, if you look on the monthly chart very carefully, here's a downward moving market, lower high, lower low. Over here, we moved above a pivot, all very similar. So this pullback is buyable. And look what's happening here. This is probably going to start turning and moving up again. Yeah, how do we know that? We go down the time frames. And you can see over here, we're still in a downward moving market. Yeah, that's what kicked off, by the way, the move down. How do we know? We're in supply. Same thing again. Once we take out this level, we broke the up move. Otherwise, we're making higher highs and higher lows. Higher high, once we broke below here, moves up are sellable now. You see that? Till we come. How do we know we're not going down anymore? Well, put in a higher low over here and a higher high. And probably at the end of the day, higher low means we're going up. Okay, so pullbacks are buyable. So today is a buy day because we pull back. How do you do that? You go onto the smaller time frames and you can see what happened. We have a move down here. Again, the same thing. There's the top. We're moving down, but you want to be buying this at some level, and we're getting the move now. And look where we're stopping. This level's marked out. It's probably going to break this level the next time back. So we may come back and then break it. Okay, starting to see how this works. It's very, very simple. But again, as we said before, it's simplicity based on years of experience doing this, not based on a lack of understanding. That's why we call it masterful simplicity. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin futures. Let's go to Bitcoin futures. Okay, so again, we've called pretty much every major turning point in this market. But if you look at what we did before, we called the top over here. And notice we're still higher low, higher high, higher low. What's this? Lower high. So we were on the short side here down to the next level down here. You see where it went? Now we just put in a higher high above here, and that broke the down move. So it means we're moving up, and look where we're coming into this level that we broke down. But now we're coming in a more bullish moving market on the bigger time frame. Now we can see this also here as well. We had bearishness here on the move down below here, but the market gapped up, which was bullish. And look where we're coming to. Look at where we're coming to now. To supply level. If we break that, we go to the next level. And you can see this also on this time frame. You see we gapped. This is a bullish gap, which kicked off this move. Higher high, off you go. And now we're kind of been chopping around here for a number of days because we're not high enough up to go down and not low enough down to go up. So we kind of go sideways. Okay, that's where sideways markets form in the market. Okay, sideways kind of, that's when the market goes more sideways. If we go and look at the dollar, let's look at the dollar yen. Show you the same thing intraday, how to know how to be on the right side of the market. Yep. So if we look at it even on the hourly chart, notice over here, here's a higher low, there's a higher high, we pull back, and what happens here, when this bar closes, we've got a lower high. So what you're doing on this move up, when this bar closes, you want to be on the sell side now, we're no longer going up. And if you understand that this is not demand, it's just a push up to go lower. And notice where we go, we went back below this level to the next level down. Okay, here we stopped here, see, and pushed up, sideways, up. Look where we stopped in supply. Look what happened to the trend, and then we go to the downside. It's the same, almost the same thing every time. If you can spot it, you know how to read a market. Okay, there's a couple of nuances you need to learn, and you need to how to put all the time frames together. But you can do it. It's learnable, and I've been teaching people how to do this for many years now with success, and they've gone on to be successful traders. So let me show you one story. So Jen came to me probably about 5 years ago, and she went from beginner to consistent profits in 3 months. Now, fast forward to where we are now, 5 years later, she's become a master of trading NQ at the cash open, and now has trained a number of traders to success already. I mean, the first training we released at the beginning of last year. Okay, the beginning of last year, she released a training. We've had quite a number of people go through it and are already successful or on the way to mastering trading the market open, NQ at the open. And this is what she basically came to me with no prior knowledge of trading. So she didn't know anything else. And it was very easy. There was no preconceived ideas or bad habits to get rid of. She just learned what she needed to do, put it into practice, mastered it, became good at it, and made it her own and succeeded. Now, I'm not saying everyone can do that, but it's to show you that it's possible. And what's really beautiful about this is she's gone on now to, because she's actually a teacher by profession as well. She's just retired like last year, but not as a, I mean, she's a teacher as well. She's a trained teacher, but she's now gone on to train other people, and she loves teaching. She teaches people how to ski as well. And she's in the ski season at the moment. So, you know, she's skiing the whole ski season for the first quarter of the year, pretty much. So this is what she said about the training. All I can say to anyone who wants to consistently profit, just do it. That training turned my whole trading around. From that day on, my trading has been so consistent, it's really mind-blowing. Once you understand the levels and can read the trend, you will beat the market every single day. However, the key is follow the pivot analysis and use the demand and supply levels and adapt it to your own trading style. Be very disciplined, don't be greedy, stop when you have made your daily profit, and you will turn losing trades into winning consistently day in, day out. Simon's training can be adapted to any market. I mainly trade the NQ. I use my own strategy based on Simon's education. So I found the best thing was knowing what you are doing gives you confidence in your trades, and the fear of losing was gone. Trading had become a lifestyle, no longer a binary gamble or a nervous hope job. Believe me, it's the best and only training to succeed with. So as I said before, she's gone on now to train other traders. We now work together, which is really nice. You know, from training her, she's now training others, and, you know, to trade the NQ at the cash open, that's her speciality. It's what Norman said about the training. Having been duped in the past to purchase useless courses, I'd been reluctant to take the plunge, but having seen Jane trade, and indeed having spoken with you, I was satisfied that I was dealing with genuine people and not the charlatans who dominate the online educational space. I was not disappointed. The course was far and away the best online trading education I have experienced. My congratulations to you both on the course and your sincere efforts to advance your members' trading skills. So the best investment you can make in life is in yourself. I think Warren Buffett said that as well. And as Jim Rohn says, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. But guess what? Knowledge by itself is not going to help. It's knowledge that leads to action. You need to take action. So if what I'm saying or resonates with you and it kind of, this makes sense, then why not take it a step further? Take the next step. You know, there's nothing worse than not knowing if it would have worked by not doing anything. The worst case scenario is it doesn't work for you. Yeah, that's the worst case scenario. But what happens if it does? You'll never know if you don't try, if you don't do it. And you have to go in, you know, go in and do the training and give it everything you have. Just like when you're watching this presentation, listen wholeheartedly with all your mind and all your focus, not being distracted, and you'll get much more out of it. Go and watch it again and go and mark up your charts and go and see these things happening day after day. And then you start to master reading the market. So now you've seen a simple and powerful approach to picking market tops and bottoms. And again, it works on every time frame in every market. If you can chart it, you can pick a top or bottom. It doesn't even matter. As long as you can chart it, it doesn't even have to be a financial market. You can chart your weight over time and see the trends. You'll see when things turn around and you start moving in an upward trend and you want to be in a downward trend, and then you notice and you think, I have to do something about that. Unless you're kind of bulking and putting on muscle mass. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to share with you an offer I put together to help you know exactly what to do to achieve mastery of the trend. Okay. So the next step is to take it a step further and learn how to read the trend using pivot analysis alone. Now I've shared with you how to look at market tops and bottoms, and trend is very important in mastering those tops and bottoms. So here are the benefits of knowing how to read the trend. You want to trade in the direction of the trend. The trend is your friend until the bend in the end. Most people miss that off. And the bend in the end is the end of the trend, is what I'm going to teach you how to spot, which is what we touched on today. You'll know when a trend begins and when a trend ends, which is super important for picking market tops and bottoms, and also turning points in the market, even if it's not the major market tops and bottoms. Make sure you're never fighting the trend. You want to be on the side of the trend most of the time. So when I'm trading, say I want to buy a demand area in the market, I'll wait for the trend to change, the downtrend to change, and then I know I've got something else. I have an extra edge. I'm not trading against the trend. It's already shown that this is not going down anymore, for example, if I'm buying demand, or it's not going up anymore. One of those scenarios that we went through just now. Make sure you're on the right side of the market. There's nothing more frustrating than being on the wrong side of the market. And you'll be able to develop a profitable trading strategy once you know this information, or enhance an existing strategy, include it into what you're doing. It will help filter out some of your losing trades and maybe make you more profitable just by doing that. Keep you out of trades you shouldn't be in by making sure you're on the right side of the market. So here's the offer. If you join my How to Read the Trend training session and trading room, this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to identify the current trend of the market. Again, very important to know, is the market moving up or down in the trend perspective? You'll be able to analyze a trend in multiple time frames. Again, extremely important. We touched on that a little bit today by looking at multiple time frames regarding tops and bottoms of the market. You'll know exactly when a trend begins and ends, and how this knowledge will dramatically affect your bottom line. And guess what? You're going to be able to watch us analyze and trade in the live markets in real time by joining our live trading room for 1 month at no cost. That's part of the offer that I'm going to share with you. So here's what people are saying. Ernest, Simon, this is phenomenal. I've been trading, studying for 3 years. Sadly, it's all been the wrong process. I've wasted tons of money, time, and effort. I've actively deleted all those programs, indicators, etc., and now completely focus on what I've learned from your program. It's the only real way to trade, and it makes complete sense. And I can tell you, at this moment in time, he is a consistently profitable trader. Okay, not only trading the way I've trained him, but he's also gone through Jane's training and is successful in that as well. And then you'll see, if you come and join the program, you'll be able to connect with him in Discord. You can speak to him as well. Again, primarily, you have to join the NQ program to be part of that part of Discord. Tom, I wanted to say, I think what you teach in How to Read the Trend training course is brilliant. Before that, I'd picked up bits and pieces from different traders, but it was never joined up. Your course brought it all together in a very structured and algorithmic way. No guessing needed. The facts jump off the chart. You are a mastermind. Matt, the trading room is very helpful in understanding how to go through the process. I've been trading for 11 years and I have not seen anything like what you do. Love how simple it is. I mainly trade options with trades that last 30 to 60 days. I've been looking for something I could use to day trade for 2 years now. I want to round out what I'm doing with another source of profits. I've not been able to find anything I could execute consistently. I'm just paper trading with your system. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I've had far better results than anything I have ever tried. So this is what you get. It's about an hour and a half, and the cost is $497. It's on demand. You can watch it again as many times as you want. It's not a certain amount of time and then you lose it. You also get personal access to me. You can ask me any questions you want. And here's the main part of it, is you're going to get 1 month access to the live trading room. And again, the subscription is $497 a month, but you don't pay anything for the first month. And you also get access to our online trading community 24/7 via our Discord server. Again, we have a wonderful community of traders, like-minded individuals who are on the same journey. Some are very successful, some are almost successful, and some are at the beginning of their journey. We have people that have been trading 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, and some at the beginning. So we have, the whole spectrum. But everyone is together, everyone helps. It's a warm community of individuals who are helping each other. Everyone's supporting each other through this journey. And the ones that are more experienced helping the ones that are less experienced. So you can feel that you're part of something. And again, this is a view of what our Discord server looks like. And we have various voice channels here that you can actually, it's slightly different now. We've changed it a bit, but you can actually trade one-on, with someone else if you want. You can find a trading buddy, you can get together with them, share your screens, and be on mic and trade together if you wish. So here's the offer. If you join now, the regular price is $994, but deadline is going to be 2 days from now. You're going to receive $497 off, so basically only $497. That's your investment. Again, I say it's an investment because a cost is something that doesn't give you anything back. Well, if you invest in this, you're going to get more value than $497. That's the key. It's an exchange. That's what we do. We exchange. Money is just a way of holding value. So that's the value. It's much more valuable because this could potentially, I can't promise, but it has done for many people that have gone through this training and joined the community, has helped them become successful traders. Okay, and again, without knowing you personally, it's impossible to say that, but the ones that have gone through the training, it's been very good for them. They've got the value out of it, and some of them have gone on, as you can see, to train other traders as well. So this is the link that you need to go to. If you're watching the replay, maybe there's a link below. But you can't click on this, but you can type this into your browser. I think Sherry may kind of type it into the chat area. And again, click on this, go to tradesmartforex.com/promo. And basically this is what you get. You get how to read the trend, which is $497. 1 month in the live trading room, also $497. Total is $994. That's the link to go to, and that's your investment today. And we'll open up to audience questions and answers in a minute. Let me just show you quickly what it looks like, and you can follow along. So this is basically my website. You can go to tradesmartforex.com. The members area is here. You can click on members. Now, how to read the trend and trading room, you'll see the page here. Okay. This is, and you click on here, and it will bring you to the checkout. You fill out all your details over here. I don't need to put that on. You fill out all your details. And again, I use payment processor is PayPal, but you don't need to have a PayPal account. You just put any email in there, don't have to have a PayPal. And when you come to check out with PayPal, say I don't have a PayPal account, I want to pay with my credit card, for example. You fill out all the details, and basically it's $497 a month, but you get the first month, and basically you're getting the first month for free. So you basically pay $497 today. You can cancel the subscription at any time. It won't be, you don't have to think about it for a whole month. You can put a reminder in, or you can cancel it straight away, whatever you feel comfortable with. And let me show you what it looks like. And when you click on members, you'll be emailed, obviously, when you sign up, your username and password, your login credentials, and the how to read the trend is in here, and the trading room is here. So this is what it looks like. How to read the trend inside the member. It's session 1 of how to read the market professionally. You don't get access to all of it, just session 1, which is a standalone session on reading the trend. So this is it. And the trading room is over here. Now, and how to join the Discord server, you click here. You click at the top and you come in and join, and you introduce yourself, and then you'll get access to the premium channels there. The live trading room is over here. So you click that. Daily trading session are recorded if you can't make it live, and our weekly preparation session, which is also a standalone subscription, which is part of all this. You get this as well included, and you can come live if you wish, but it's over here, the recordings, and you'll see, you click on here, the latest preparation. This is how we prepare for the upcoming week. Okay, it's very important. This is where we put our zones on and we come up with a plan for the week, and you'll see it's pretty accurate. You'll go and you'll see how we prepare, and you'll see what the market does during the week. And we're right a very high percentage of the time on how the market is likely to play out. Okay, and we plan out for everything. So there's nothing the market's going to do that you're not prepared for. And that is pretty much it. So what I'll do at this point is open up for audience questions and answers. I think we have about 4 minutes.
Simon, while we're waiting for people to write their questions in, guys, I put the link in the chat box, tradesmartforex.com/promo. All you should have to do is click on it to open that tab. And I think this is an amazing offer. But Simon, I'm wondering though, you have a prize that you've donated to this event where it's 1 month access to the live trading room. Now, if somebody opts into your offer today, would that mean they get 2 free months in the trading room if they won?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, and you can't get in the trading room for free all the time, right?
No, it's usually, I mean, I have people, you know, in there for a number of years now, and there's people are paying the subscription,
Yeah.
$497 a month. There are different ways you can pay on a yearly basis if you want, which takes the price down, or a quarterly basis. Depends,
So
but you know, you get a whole month for free, and you'll see the value of it. If it's
Absolutely.
suitable for you, that's the key. You know, it's not for everyone, but if it's for you, you want to be there and you'll learn. And the experience I have is that people that are in there I get a lot of great feedback, and it's basically changed people's lives.
Fantastic. Well, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do the draw right now with you online with us, and with the people who are here live today to qualify for this. And I was thinking, right this minute, I have 69 people actively paying attention. And I'm thinking that if everybody would type a number from 1 to 69 into the questions box, then, and Simon, you need to think of a number right now before anybody says anything.
Okay.
Think of a number between 1 and 69. Now, everybody type in a number between 1 and 69, and Simon's going to close his eyes and not look at the numbers coming in, and then he's going to tell us in just a minute. Give him a minute to get everybody in. Everybody get your number in. If you're not paying attention and you got your ears open for this, you need to look up and enter a number.
What happens if I pick a number that no one that no one picked? We take the nearest one.
Right. I'll give you guys about 1 more minute to do it. You got 1 more minute. All right, it's slowed down. Go ahead and tell me the number you thought of.
Okay, 13.
13. Do we have a 13?
Do we have? I'm looking now.
We did not
No,
have a 13. We have an 11.
We can take the nearest one.
We have 11 is the closest one, it looks like. 11 is the closest one. That means our winner is AM. AM, I need you to send me an email to support@tradersexclusive.com.
You can send me an email as well to here if you want, and I can give you
And what
immediate
I thought
access.
I'd do, Simon, is I would
Come and
forward
join
it
us
to
tomorrow.
you so that we can make sure that everybody's good on that.
Okay,
So AM,
yes.
you send me an email and then I'll work with Simon and we'll get you that award, okay? Good deal. Everybody clap. Yay.
Well
I really
done.
appreciate you donating a prize. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day. Now, where are you in the world? Is it nighttime where you are?
Actually, it's 8:30 at night. I'm in Israel.
I really
I'm
appreciate you doing that.
originally from England, and also we're going to say a huge thank you to everybody else. I used to live in New York as well, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's your YouTube. Guys, go and check this out. Yeah, yes, I will. Let's see.
You can join my YouTube channel. You can get it through my website as well. If you go to website, if you go down, you'll see a link to YouTube here. So you can just click on that. I also, you know, I'm not too active on social media. I just don't have too much time for it. But I'm planning to post some new videos on YouTube. You can go and watch the old ones. There's a whole series I used to put out at the beginning of the week called Where is the Dollar Going Next?
Oh.
If you have the time, you'll learn a tremendous amount if you go through that series and go back in time in your charts to that time of the video, yeah, before the week, and then go and see how the week played out. Go and see how the dollar played out. It's spot on about, I think I got audited by a guy, postdoctoral fellow at Stanford University, I think was it Stanford, you know, one of the Ivy League universities in the US actually went through and audited it, and it came out an accuracy of 85%. That was about 45 years ago.
Wow.
So
wow.
I think now
you might need to do that now.
Probably closer to 90. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can learn to do this yourself.
All right. Well, I see our next speaker is here.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sherry. It's
Thank
great what you're
you.
doing, and I
Have a
hope we're
wonderful
giving
day. Have a
great
wonderful
value
evening.
to our traders here.
Thank you. All right. Folks, that was Simon Klein with TradeSmart. And you definitely are going to want to check your chat and check out his offer. And AM was the winner there of the free trader, the live trading room for a free month. So you make sure you get that in there, AM.